back at you here at 3-Point View, and we're talking about college football. The man who was sent into exile a few years ago by Nick Saban, Darth Vader, Lane Kiffin, went down to a little school called Florida Atlantic? FAU.
FAU too.
He blew the doors off of Akron. Isn't Bauman Akron now?
And he went for 2 when they were up 31.
Oh man, that's typical douchebag Lane Kiffin stuff right there.
I like it.
I actually do too. I think Lane's grown as a coach, not as a person. He's still petty as hell. I mean,
He's still trolling everybody.
Did you watch that All Access thing?
he's having a good time. He's having a
He was
good
driving
time.
around listening to Taylor Swift.
He was listening to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, driving.
Did he have the
around.
visor on?
ESPN crew, yeah.
He had the visor on.
He doesn't take that thing off.
He's like, did you see him dabbing and dancing and everything?
Yes,
Get down. Here's what I'm going to say about this. If you're having such a good time, you're not stressed out, you're beating the hell out of teams in that conference, you're in sunny Florida, you've gotten so much money from the Raiders, USC, Tennessee, Alabama. He's made $30 million probably.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, all you stat nerds. A lot of money.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just enjoy it? You've seen in his press conference he's close to his kids. His kids are there at the press conference with him. He's having a good time. Why would you leave all this?
I wouldn't leave it. I mean, he said he's got a house by the beach. You know, right there. He's got a boat. He can go out there fishing, by the golf course. I don't see him staying the whole 10-year contract.
That's because of his history, though.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
he's either going to screw it up or he's going to bounce.
He was a bitch boy in Alabama. Do you remember the Ohio State game against Alabama?
Well, when Saban went off on him?
Where Saban went off with him. I was a Buckeye fan, and I was like, why did they quit running Henry? He was running right through the Buckeyes.
Right.
And he got cute. And Saban threw his clipboard, yelled at him on national TV, made him look like a punk in front of millions of people. And at that point, if you remember, after that, it was all like, you know. So where are you going to go? I think I would want to beat Saban. I would want to, that's the only, if he could say forget the money, I just want to beat Saban.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to say where he's going to go. We don't know of anything that's really opened up that he would have an opportunity to beat Saban.
He had USC.
But
they got the money. They got
but they're not in a position to beat Alabama right now.
I know that, but I'm saying if there was any type of university,
I
they would have to
do understand what you're saying.
California, that's a big base out there.
If this was 2 years from now and no college changes have been made, and Lane Kiffin did what he did at FAU this year and next year, and then went into the third year, and say Jimbo Fisher was still at Florida State and Texas A&M came, I think.
Then it would have to be a big
right.
It would have to be a big caliber school for him to move anywhere. I mean, at this point, everybody else is saying he's going somewhere. He's not saying he's going anywhere. He seems to be having the time of his life.
Well, he never tells anybody when he leaves. He just leaves.
This is true. This is true. But he does seem to be having the time of his life. He's turned around a program. I mean, the fact that they even played Akron was sad. I felt like there should have been.
Well, I mean, both schools, FAU is kind of like Akron in Florida.
I do.
But here's
I
the thing.
understand that.
Your level of success as a man, as a person. Jim Tressel made about $30 million from the Buckeyes, right?
It's still sad.
He was sad. Yeah, it's sad. But the same. What is he to Youngstown? He could run for mayor and would win by a landslide. He brings money to Youngstown State. But because he's not on that national scope, the pressure of being the Buckeyes coach, having to be in the top 5, having to be in a BCS bowl game, and with that, like, how much money do you need? Like, how much is enough? Now, if you're someone like Nick Saban, you're chasing history. You're chasing Bear Bryant and all them. I get that. But someone like Lane Kiffin, you could be an actual father to your kids. Have a good time with your boat, chilling in Florida. I'm saying there's worse places you could be right now.
And you could be a legend for FAU and for the state of Florida.
Before Mike Krzyzewski went to Duke, what was Duke?
Nothing.
Like pretty much like
just an academic school.
Like an academic school.
No.
That school, Cameron Indoor
North
Arena
Carolina
is a hole.
North Carolina.
I'm sorry, Duke fans, but Cameron Indoor Arena is a hole. It hasn't been updated in forever. They turned the freaking air conditioning off because they got 12 All-Americans coming off the bench so they can sweat you to death and run you down. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, Mike Krzyzewski has been there for like 30, 40, how long? My whole life.
Could FAU, if they ran the table and they were a powerhouse, do you think that they can get into the college football playoffs?
No.
No, not at all. Not in their conference.
Right. But do you think that Lane Kiffin is going to want that for the rest of his career? Not being able to get into the
I
college
think
football
Lane's
playoffs?
going to leave. I think Lane's a young man.
think
He's
we all
going to
know that.
eventually want to go.
I mean, the guy was the head coach of the Raiders at 30.
Yeah,
You know?
he's the head coach of USC. Those are
Right.
two of the biggest things. How?
But what about Tennessee? We forget about Tennessee.
Remember he signed a 14-year-old?
Yeah.
He signed a 14-year-old.
They
an
just screwed up
eighth
the
grader.
whole Rocky Top thing, you know, down there in Tennessee. They were
Lord.
just all over him.
So he went to like a joke.
Yeah.
So now he's the man. It's
He
not
was relevant with Alabama.
He was relevant, but
He's always been a pretty damn good coach. The problem with him is his decision making. Like,
He's
honestly,
immature.
he's figured out a way of making himself look like an idiot
Yeah.
time and time again, and not looking very. He's not.
I just think
don't
he's a
feel like he's been
happy-go-lucky.
committed.
I just think he's a happy-go-lucky dude.
he's the you ever seen the movie Tin Cup?
Yeah.
He's the Roy McAvoy of college football. Like when he's on,
Yeah.
he can be with anybody, but he
Right.
just shoots himself. He goes for the green and
Yeah.
shoot. Like you could have just kept running the ball, had another national championship for Ohio State. But what'd you do? You got cute. You wanted to go for the over the top
Right,
play.
the big play.
Yeah, between the tackles would have just sufficed.
Right.
But no, you had to go for the green. You know,
I can relate. Absolutely with Lane Kiffin. You know, go for the Augusto. Go for the big.
He's the Lane Kiffin.
he's
of
the
this
Lane
show.
Kiffin above.
I can relate completely.
He's the one staying until 2 a.m. saying, "Watch me hit this shot. Watch me hit this shot."
Everyone's sleeping.
So
Clanging irons.
Lane Kiffin used to be on Alabama. Alabama, last few years, since Nick Saban's first year, has always been in the top 5 as far as recruits.
Where do they fall?
Strong recruit.
Last time I checked, they were at 9.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a
so
big
that's
drop.
a big drop. But hold on, let's hold up on that. They say a lot of players are waiting till after the bowl games to
Right,
declare,
right.
so it might change between now and then.
Oh,
But
absolutely. They
they'll
won another
probably
national
crack the top
championship. That
5.
jewelry speaks.
Right.
They'll probably crack the top 5. But there's players like Kenyon Drake that didn't even play. He didn't even play
No.
at Alabama.
Right.
Now he's a starting running back for the Miami Dolphins, and he's playing well.
Yeah, very
They
well.
just beat the Patriots.
Very well.
I'm just saying, he was, what did he go, for 140 yards, something
Solid,
like that?
yeah. Receiving, and
I just can't believe it. Is it smart because you're saving yourself? Think about it. You go somewhere like Wisconsin, TCU. They're running you so hard.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna beat the crap out of you.
You could be like Nick Chubb, freaking look like a Gumby on your leg there.
Sean Livingston injury.
Right. Lattimore. What happened to Lattimore?
He gave
So
it. He
talented.
gave it a shot.
What if
for
Lattimore?
a year.
What if Lattimore was a third string Alabama running back? He might be playing for the 49ers to this day.
Right.
So I'm saying, with these draft classes, what do they say to make them commit to Alabama, Ohio State, when they know they're not going to start?
Anything they want. I think it's open season.
Here's the deal. They don't know they're not going to start.
Tell
per
us the
se.
deal, Brandon.
What is the deal, Brandon?
They don't know that they're not going to start per se. I mean, when somebody's coming in, obviously there's a starting running back that's returning from last year, so you know you're not going to get playing time this year. But you also know he's eventually going to move his way into the pros, and you have an opportunity to prove yourself.
So do you take that? Do you sit for 2 years and just take that 2 years like a Barkley, take that notoriety and then leave?
Well, maybe.
I don't. If I'm a
You
top
gotta see what your
recruit-
options are.
If I'm a top recruit and there is, say, for example, I'm a running back. So there's a running back that's already established. He's a star. He's top
Soak
5.
up as much as I can from that guy before he
I'm
takes
not.
off.
I'm not. I'm going elsewhere. I want to play. I want to make my own name. I don't want to sit behind somebody. I want to be that true freshman like a Maurice Claret or someone like that who came
I
in
guess
and started from
if
the
you're a top
get-go.
recruit and you have the offers piling in, you
I
have
mean,
that.
if you
benefit
have
of the
10
doubt.
schools, and 7 of them have starting running backs that are locked in, concrete, number 1 on the depth chart, and you got those other 3 that are kind of teetering, I'm either going to compete with the teetering one, or I'm going with the one that ain't got nobody established or just went to the NFL.
Yeah. The perfect storm would be a huge program, have it all set up for you to transition within 1 year to go.
Yeah.
But like I'm just saying, like Alabama, they got so many. They got talent.
Right.
NFL players
They
are
got
bench.
talent everywhere, and that's another thing you got to think about. A lot of players coming in, they see Alabama's defense, Alabama's offensive line. These are guys that you're going to be playing with. You know what I mean? So you can go to that little tier team where somebody's teetering on the fence, but you may not have that talent in front of you blocking. You may not have that talent. You know what I mean? So there's a whole lot you could play in because your career might not be what it is in Tennessee as what it would be if you were playing in Alabama. You know what I mean?
It's. I mean, what is it? Catch-22.
It's hindsight.
Right. So, among the other teams, as far as rankings, as far as recruits and all that, last year Texas, 33.
Mm-hmm.
That's embarrassing for such a program, such a recruiting area, all that. Now they moved up Tom Herman number 2. How in the world do you make such a push that fast?
Because Tom Herman made him relevant again. Tom Herman.
That offense? Is it that offense?
Absolutely.
That's a showcase offense that he ran with.
You
the
can only keep a
Buckeyes
program
and
like that
Houston.
down for so long,
Right.
man. That state pumps out how many players? They've had how many people actually go there and pump money back into the program. It's only a matter of time before if you can be relevant before you are relevant again.
Texas is down, right? And how you're saying that you can only keep a program down for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who's the darling of this year? College football team.
The Darling.
The Hurricanes.
Oh yeah.
The Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
They've been down for years. Now they
long.
have this. Then they also have the turnover chain, and they look like they're having fun and everything like that. And they got a solid coach, Mark Rick.
Yeah,
I think
they're
that
making it
recruiting
appealing.
class-
They're making it appealing for
That
kids to come
recruiting
there.
class is going to go up. They were probably 100
Yeah.
in the recruiting class. Now they're probably going to be in the top
Have you
50.
been to Miami?
Yeah.
I could not imagine at the age of 18 being taken to South Beach
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
and seeing everything,
you're gonna
and then
have your
taking me
trials and
and taking me with
tribulations.
Mr. Frost and seeing the Frost in
In
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Oh my God! I couldn't even imagine not going to someplace like Miami. I went to Florida when I was 19. I had to get out of there. It was a dangerous scene for me at that time, and I wasn't even a top recruit. So when people say, that Johnny Manziel, you try to be a rock star of a major university like that, and you imagine
it all
what it's
depends
like.
on the kid's mindset. If the kid's mindset wants to party,
How many
They
kids
said-
actually have that
stuff.
mature mindset that's
So,
not?
well, it all
focused on-
depends
Well,
on upbringing.
BYU
I can tell you right now, I knew all three of us at their age, and we would have been screw ups if we would have went to a big college for some kind of a sport. I know I would have been.
I'm saying you would think Brigham Young
he's
is
smart.
You would say Brigham Young would be like the place where like you'd be like, okay, you'd be fine there because it's so uptight.
Nah, man.
Jimmer Fredette, remember Jimmer Mania and all that.
He's doing great overseas.
He is doing great overseas, but at the same time, he couldn't even go to class. And that's just Jimmer at
Right.
BYU. So I can only imagine what it was like for Johnny Football
Right.
for Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
So out of all these teams, we said that Texas moved up. Georgia's up there. Penn State's up there. Ohio State, number 1 in the nation. Here's a little switch on you. Dabo Sweeney, the BYOG, bring your own guts.
I like that.
He ripped the number 1 D end out of the state of Ohio from Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
Urban thought it was a locked deal.
And how did he?
Dabo
do it?
come
Remember?
in. He
The offensive
said
lineman.
he comes in, he says, I had a personal conversation with Urban. I don't think Urban's going to be doing this much longer.
Mhm.
Urban's not even old.
Right.
And then he turns around and says, I've been here 15 years.
Mhm.
I'm going to be here another 15 years. Walks away with the recruit.
Can you blame him though? I mean, Dabo does have the longevity
You got to
at
do.
there.
You got to do what it takes.
And he's just having a general conversation. If that's the way Dabo feels, that Urban Meyer, I mean, his track record
Does
he's been
show
with
that
4
he'll
different
walk away.
schools,
Yeah.
so he's kind of a greater Lane Kiffin. So it's kind of like, Urban Meyer, he went from, Bowling Green, and then Utah, then Florida, and now Ohio State, and he's had,
Do you think Dabo would admit to it?
I'm not saying it.
I don't think
Yeah.
Dabo would so much admit to it, but if he does admit to it, it's just because general conversation. He's going to answer whatever a recruit asks, if it's legitimate.
Yeah.
So, and that is legitimate. I mean, that kid, that's his future. And
Yeah.
if that guy's not going to be there, it's was going to ask a question. Hey, what do you think? Do you think Urban Meyer's going to be at Ohio State for the next 4 years? And if Dabo says, no, I don't think he's going to be doing it much longer, so the hell what? You know? I mean, it's true.
Yeah, you gotta do what it takes. That is what it is.
So, out of all these coaches, which one overtakes Saban? Which is the next wave? What young coach do you think? We know it's not Lane Kiffin because he's a Florida Atlantic. Who do you think's the next young coach that takes over? I think Frost was a great coach.
Yeah.
I don't see people going to Nebraska. Notre Dame, I don't see
Nebraska used to be a powerhouse with Tommy Frazier back in the day.
But that offense, I miss that offense watching
I'm
it.
going to go back, and I honestly feel like this coach is going to stick at the program he just went to. And I think it's Chip Kelly.
Hell yeah, that's what I was going to say, Chip Kelly.
Wow, we don't never think alike. But honestly, where he's at, I mean, generally, like located with the Oregon background and all that, his recruiting's going to go up. And
it's right for the taking.
I think he took a swing at the NFL, similar to Saban, and he realized it wasn't for him. He came back to his game, and I have a feeling that program is going to continue to grow, and I look for him to be in the playoff conversation in the next few years.
Now, who do you think in the SEC has a chance
to knock the big dog
knocking Saban down?
No one until he leaves.
Dabo.
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 I still don't see
played wide receiver for Roll Tide. He played for them. Like he's got this whole Star Wars got to beat everything.
All right, so they're doing part 3 of Alabama Clemson New Year's Day.
Alabama is favored,
but it's not in the championship or for the championship. It's to go to the championship.
Yeah.
So who do you think is going to come out on top of that one?
Alabama.
Alabama.
I think loss.
I'm saying Clemson.
I think that loss was good for him.
I'm teetering on it. Here's the deal. My actual pick to win the championship it's Oklahoma. But with that being said, I could see them beating Alabama to do it. And the only reason I say it is you're going to have our boy not only win the Heisman Trophy, but he's also going to go off and win the national championship, and he's going to make the entire league, the NFL league, start squandering over him. Mayfield is going to, and I don't think he's worthy of a first round pick, but I have a feeling he's going to squeeze his way into it.
I don't think they're going to, be enamored, the NFL people. I don't think they're going to be enamored with him.
No, not everybody. There's going to be certain teams that are.
Yeah, there's going to be certain teams. Certain teams love Johnny Manziel. Some want to stay away
from how that worked out too.
But then again, I
who do you got though? Who do you got?
I compare him to Chase Daniel, but in the back of my head there's a little voice saying, "Why can't he be Drew Brees?
No.
Why can't he be that 6 foot,
right.
220 pound?"
Russell Wilson.
Why can't he? What's saying?
He's not athletic.
He's a winner. He's a winner. Drew Brees is that much more athletic than him.
I don't think Mayfield has it in between. I don't think
he's proven himself.
I think that's where he does.
He's proven himself over and over again.
He has the intangibles.
This kid takes on being a walk on.
Oh, I think it's great. He takes on the challenge.
I'm just saying, he's a born leader.
Absolutely.
He's not eating W's or whatever like Jameis Winston. Oh, good God, that's disgusting. When Joe Flacco did it, I just turned the TV off.
Joe Flacco just looks like he needs deodorant. I mean, the guy just looks like he
looks like he sweats ham juice.
But Joe Flacco thinks he thinks people are laughing with him. Joe, they're not laughing with you; they're laughing at you.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you got $100 million, so I guess you're laughing. You're laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
We'll be right back at you at 3.2 after this.
Deodorant.